Hello, my name is Sophie Turinetti, and I'm a master's in social work candidate in my last semester. My capstone project is titled The Impact of Social Engagement on Geriatric Depression. This presentation will cover the objective of the study, some background information, methodology and analysis, discussion of findings, and implications for future practice. The present study aimed to determine a relationship between social engagement and geriatric depression among adults over the age of 65 through an archival data analysis. Now, some background information. Prevalence rates of geriatric depression among community-dwelling older adults are often misreported due to the strict diagnostic criteria the DSM-5 poses. Because symptoms of depression are often misconstrued as somatic or cognitive illnesses and the processes of aging. These challenges are a possible explanation to the low prevalence rates of geriatric depression, which are reported at approximately 10 to 20%. There are certain demographic populations where depression rates increase, such as older adults in long-term care living facilities and adults over the age of 80. As adults get older and the opportunity for social activities decline, often due to retirement, a decline in health, and loss, social isolation and depression become more prominent among the geriatric population. Social engagement is defined as social and emotional connection with people and the community. It relates to social integration, support, and interaction. Social engagement has been found to have a strong positive impact on well-being, health, and mental health. Social engagement, specifically the quality of relationships, has been found to be a strong protective factor against depression and depressive symptoms in older adults. Now, for this study, data was utilized from the National Social Life, Health, and Aging Project from the University of Chicago. This was a longitudinal study that began around 2005 with 4 rounds of data and over 4,400 respondents. The present study only utilized up to round 3 data because round 4 data is preliminary and is currently being analyzed. The data was consolidated into categories of social engagement frequency and the quality of partnership, family, and community involvement to analyze social engagement. There was a loneliness scale, 2 depression scales, and a self-rated depression scale used to analyze depression. The data only provided responses of frequency. A chi-square test of independence was performed to examine the relationship between social engagement and geriatric depression with significant results. A non-experimental archival data analysis was used to test the hypothesis that the study will determine significant findings and associations among social engagement and geriatric depression. The chi-square test of independence yielded a p-value of 0.001, which is less than 0.05 and therefore statistically significant. Now, when looking at findings in the study, there were interesting findings among specific categories within the social engagement and depression domains. Rates of depression were moderate, which is consistent with research that states community-dwelling adults have lower rates of depression. The quality of interpersonal relationships was found to have the highest levels of satisfaction. This finding was significant because levels of loneliness were low, despite the frequency of engagement and community satisfaction being low. The finding of high satisfaction of interpersonal relationships may be a mediating factor to depression and a reason why depression rates were so low in this study. Now, for implications for future practice, the findings of the study can better inform social workers about the importance of social support quality that may mitigate the deleterious effects depression can have on older adults. And lastly, interventions aimed at increasing the quality of relationships and strengthening social ties may be beneficial for older adults suffering from depressive symptoms and strengthen resilience traits. There is further research needed to determine the relationship between social engagement and geriatric depression, specifically among older adults in long-term care facilities, where research on this subject is sparse. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your questions.